How to search VAERS. Easiest way to get there is through a search engine. Type in VAERS. It's typically the first result. Just make sure it's the .gov website. Click on the first top link, VAERS. Middle of the page. Search VAERS data. Disclaimer. I'm going to click the box I have read and understand the disclaimer. Click Search CDC Wonder. Disclaimer is going to be the same on this next page. In the disclaimer box, the three top bullet points under key considerations and limitations. There's a couple keywords to keep in your mind as we do this. These are pretty much the three main arguments against using this information. Providers are encouraged to report. The second bullet point, reports may include incomplete, inaccurate, coincidental, and unverified information. And 3, the number of reports alone cannot be interpreted or used to reach conclusions about the existence, severity, frequency, or rates of problems associated with. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to run the report first, and then we're going to go back to see how that report is submitted and address these 3 points, and so we can come to our own conclusion as to whether or not these 3 points show correlation versus causation. So click on I agree. It's going to bring you back to the top of that page. Click on VAERS data search. This page is very intimidating. Other videos have you select all these random things, but we're all watching this video to ask one question regarding one product, regarding one conclusion. So I'm going to show you how to quickly do that. So we're going to go back up to the top. Section 1, group results by, not symptoms. We don't care about symptoms. Not for this report, at least. So we're going to go down to the VAERS ID. Second box, we're going to choose type. Third box, we're going to do event category. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Optional measures, going to click that box, adverse event description. Skip section 2. Section 3, products. Click that gray box where it says all. It's going to bring down drop down menu. We all will know what we want to search for. Notice how on the right hand side where it says currently selected, it says all and then the product we want to search for. We need to deselect the all because it's going to mess up our numbers. I'll skip the manufacturer and dose. Section 4, state, territory, age, sex. Listen, we're going to choose all locations. Deselect United States, territories unknown. Section 5, here's the biggie. Choose all event, the drop down all events. Okay, we want to learn about this adverse event. Deselect all. Okay, we're done. Go down to the bottom and hit send. Messages. This request produces 43,519 rows. And that's regarding this product and this adverse event. But 10,000 is the maximum allowed. So it's basically saying there's too many reports that it can't display because 10,000 is the maximum. So we have to simplify our request. Limit our search results. So we're going to go down back to that section 4. Let's choose the United States, territories unknown. Deselect all. We're going to keep all age, all genders. Let's go back down to the bottom of that page and hit send. $19,732 rows It's for the United States territories / are known for all ages, all genders. Again, it's too many reports, too many rows. You're going to see what that looks like here in a moment. So we have to limit our search again. Okay. 19,732. So let's limit our search. Let's limit it by sex. Let's choose female and deselect all genders. Let's see what that brings us. Let's go down all the way down to the bottom and hit send. Just give it a minute here. Okay. Here's some results. These results are for 2,778 total events. Remember, we searched for the United States and females, and that's what's given us that number. And the first box that we chose VAERS ID type and event category. You can see that that's what makes a row. So each row is a report, essentially. And according to this is displaying 2,778. And to read more information in the report, so it's basically the adverse event description is kind of giving you a blurb of what the individual reported. But if you click on the blue hyperlink under at VAERS ID, it's going to take you into the report that was submitted. I apologize for the planes flying over. Wait till I go by. So this patient, this woman was 85. The date she was December 29th, 2020, and the date she died was the same date, according to this report. And it gives you what type of product she received, manufacturer, and then the adverse event description. And this individual said the hospital did not acknowledge this, and he or she wanted to make sure it was reported. So that's what that looks like. So to go back to those search results, the 2,000 what have you reports, we're going to click on the top, the blue menu button that says results. Don't hit the back button. If you hit the back button, it's going to try to resend all that information again. You're going to have a huge lag time, and most likely it's going to freeze your device. At least that's what happens to me. When I do that, I forget I accidentally hit the back button. So just remember that as you're doing the search. I do really hope that you're not just watching this video, or maybe you watch it and then do this search on your own, please. I made this video so people can do the search on their own, so that they can see the results on their own and come to their own conclusion using their own discernment. Okay? As you look at these reports, either through this video or on your own, you're going to see that a lot of these reports are from medical professionals just by the language they use. You could tell, but that one we just read was from a family member. And remember, anybody can file a report for VAERS. And we're going to go, like I said in the beginning of the video, we're going to go back and see how these are reported. I'll go a little slow during the beginning of this. We didn't limit this search by age or by date. But if you click into the blue hyperlinks, you'll see that the top displays are the earliest, the first incidents reported, and then the bottom will give you the most recent ones. A lot of these you'll read as you read into them. Of course, you use your own judgment, but from what I read from a lot of these, as a lot of these are not from folks who had pre-existing conditions. The earlier ones, you could tell, and then that you click in some of them, it'll tell you where they got the product. Either they were in a senior living home or not. Some of those will say that. See, this one says patient has been under hospice services. I'm going to speed it up here just a bit because this is over 2,000 results. Don't, I'm going to repeat myself constantly and I apologize, but please do this on your own device. Please search for yourself. I'm not making these up, okay? You are looking at a live screen of the search on my iPad. You can see the sidebar here. These are a lot. It's a lot, okay? And a lot of these are going to be emotional when you read them. So just take a few moments out of your day. If you are questioning the narrative, just search for yourself. Come to your own conclusion. I did not make this video to form your opinion. I just made this video to show you how to come to your own conclusion, how to look at the information yourself. So you're not relying on outside sources who might have some pre-existing biases on what to report and what not to report, okay? I'm kind of going slow for folks who are unable, who do not have a device. But obviously, if you're watching this video, you have some sort of device. You could this is using the internet, okay? You can execute this report on your own. Following this direction, this will get you to the website without having to download the form, the Excel spreadsheet, because that's the other way to do this report. The other couple videos I've seen, those individuals did use the Excel spreadsheet, and it was too confusing. It just overlapped. The data overlapped. This is clean. This looks clean. I have not done this on a phone, so I don't know what it's going to look like on your phone. So I apologize if this is not clean on your phone. You can't read it, but so I'm going tiny bit slow. So you can pause the video if you want to read into some of these as I'm scrolling. So here at the top, I just stopped at one, just random one. This one said she died in the bathroom on the second day. This is a spontaneous report from a contactable consumer. So pretty much the individual who filed this report is saying, you can contact me to verify this report. Spontaneous means that this individual filed this report on their own. They were not coerced into filing this report. So you're going to see a lot of that. Contactable consumer. This is people are saying, please contact me if you need to verify that. Remember those bullet points that we stopped at the beginning of, in the disclosure? And the main argument is saying that these reports cannot be verified. A lot of these can't. We'll see how it's submitted, the report, after we run a few more of these. And you can use your own judgment on whether that's true or not. A lot of these folks, as you read them too, you'll notice that they received the product and then still died of the illness that product was allegedly supposed to protect them from. You base that. You come to your own conclusions on that. This one said on the top, I just stopped at, it says patient was received the product at pharmacy with second dose. Patient called dialysis clinic that she was coughing up blood. She's going to the hospital in the afternoon. Patient's daughter called the clinic to inform the staff the patient passed away on the 4th of April, or 3rd of April, due to internal bleeding. Let's click into that hyperlink. 71. Date she received the product was March 28th, and just died April 3rd. Okay, you can see the type, manufacturer, the symptoms, and we read already. And then this lady also had some, looks like probably pre-existing stuff. She dialysis, so her kidneys. Come to your own conclusion on that. Let me hit results. When we not hit the back button. Don't hit the back button like I said earlier. But unfortunately, when you go back to the results, it doesn't take you to the spot you left off on. You have to go back down. But I really hope you're able to do this on your device and read for yourself, because this is a lot. This is a lot. Let's scroll down to the bottom to see the most recent. I apologize if anyone was trying to read those. But we have to get down. Let's get down to the bottom. Scrolling through. All these are death. Let's scroll down to the bottom and see the most recent ones. The top of that web results page had said that they update this information every Friday. So if you're like me, run it once a week, you'll run it after Friday or Monday or whatever, it's going to give you different numbers. Unfortunately, it's going to give you more numbers. They increase weekly. This last one here. Just click into it. She was 36 years old. She received the product on August 6th and passed away September 2nd. Look at this. These symptoms. Look at that. She was pregnant. Twins. She's on medications. A lot of it was from being pregnant, it looks like. That was the most recent one. The bottom one was September 2nd. And today's September 15th. Let's go back to the results. Okay, so we got 2,778 females. You're going to probably notice already I'm using the word product instead of the V word. Because if I decide to post this video on social media, it will be flagged. I mean, it's probably going to be flagged anyways. But certain words read aloud in videos are flagging accounts and terminating accounts. I'm not afraid of my account being terminated, but I want this information to go out to as many people as possible. I will keep hard copy of this video. So if you would like it, I can email it to you, or however you receive this video, have that person, they can also send it to you. Okay. So we did the females. Let's do the males. So I'm sorry, scrolling back and forth, but I just wanted you to see with your own eyes the extreme results of this. Okay. So let's go back to the top. I'm going to go hit the blue menu button that says request form right next to results. And it's going to take you back to that very first page that we did. And it kept all our information. So let's choose, go back down to section 4. Let's choose males and deselect females. Let's see what that brings us. Down to the bottom to send. Okay. It says that for the males, 10,681 rows, which we saw with the rows equals a report. So 10,681 reports, but 10,000 is the maximum that they're going to allow to be displayed on the website on this way of searching. So we need to limit our search. Okay, so let's mail. Let's go by. Let's choose the 60 to 64 range. Let's see what that brings us, and then deselect all ages. So we got a total of 275 total events, and we said 10,681, right, for the males. So 275 of those are in that age range we selected. Same with what we just recently did with the females. You got your VAERS ID, the product type, and the event, and then the description, so we can read at a glance. And this one includes the lot number too. At least that one I just scrolled by. And some of these don't include a narrative. It doesn't have to. It's not a requirement. And you can just click into the blue hyperlinks to read more information on that. Here's this one. It says, I am reporting this because I strongly believe that the patient's death was caused by this second product. The exact date of the product is unknown. His girlfriend told me he got his second product at the end of February. I also don't know what product he got, so the Pfizer is just a guess. Patient started feeling bad and looking bad after his second product. He complained that he wasn't feeling well, missed appointments, saying he wasn't feeling well during the 2 weeks or so between the time of his second product and his death. Let's click in the blue hyperlink. So this gentleman was 61 years old. He first received the product February 25th, and he died March 15th, according to this report. And we just read that description, and there's not much else that was known. And then bold on all those reports, you probably already saw it. It says submitting a report to VAERS does not mean that the healthcare personnel of the vaccine, the product, caused or contributed to the adverse event. Ooh, I barely said it, so it's probably going to flag the video. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, let's go back to the results. If you're impatient with, just fast forward this video, but I'm doing this for folks who are unable to get this to load on their device. There's a lot of heart problems. You can see we just passed a couple of the heart. This one here, severe sepsis, coma. The patient received the second dose of the product March 20th, tested positive on August. Oh, it looks like twice they tested him. Let's click into that one. It's the last one on for this age group in the report, most recent report. So he received the product March, died in August. Look at these symptoms. Oh, and the symptom also included the illness which the product is supposed to protect against or alleviate the symptoms, but not for this individual. Let's come to your own conclusion on that. Please read that. This is quite an involved description. And he was also on other medications. It looks like he might have also had a heart condition too. With some of those medications I know are for the heart. So go back to that. Let's go back to the request form. We'll look at a little bit more of the meals real quick, and then we'll do another search. Again, this is for individuals who can't do it on their own device. If you are doing it on your own device, just fast forward if you're getting bored. Play around with it. Okay, let's choose 65 to 79. Let's see what that group, how many's in that group. It says the results are for 1,276 total events. Let's see the most recent. Let's click on that first hyperlink. It says the date the report was completed is December 25th. Individual received the product on the 23rd. And this gentleman passed away on the 25th of December 2020. And he was in a senior living home, so those symptoms. I'll read that adverse event description. And then it says the current illness, he had some pre-existing conditions. I'll scroll a little bit through here. Died 2 days after receiving the product. Remember I said the spontaneous report, this person, they're submitting on their own free will. And that was for the, 65 to 79 is what we chose. I see a lot of these folks who died of. That's on the adverse symptoms on the product insert of these products. Sorry, trying not to say the word. You could go to the FDC website and look at the products, the EUA products, and the approved product that's currently not available to anybody, but it has EUA, which is emergency use authorization. You can read those product descriptions, because that is your right under the law. The FDC Act, EUA Act. And if anybody's interested in a video on that, I can show you how to search for that and read that and go over the language with you if that's something you're interested in. Because the power, remember, the power's in the language. That's how they get us. Let's go down to the bottom, see the most recent one. Go to that one. This gentleman was 69 years old. He received the first product on April 16th. Passed away July 16th. The report was made September 2nd. Or submitted September 2nd. There's the symptoms. Inverse for event description. My dad had received the J&J product end of April. He was sick for a few days with normal side effects. In July, he died from myocarditis. The autopsy came back as research has been showing that is linked to the product. I almost said it again. And to report it to help research just in case. That is an adverse effect that is on that product insert page as an adverse symptom, and that's a heart problem. And it looks like this individual had high blood pressure, looks like, on other medications as well. Let's go back to the request form. I think we got that. I was just showing you how to limit your search so you can get those results to display so you can read those reports for yourself. Let's go to, so we did the United States. Let's go to, see on the bottom. Let's look at foreign. Because these other, all these other ones I believe are territories in the United States and would have shown in the United States territories unknown. I think that would have been included in that, but not foreign. So let's see what that is. How much that gives us. Let's choose all. Deselect the age group we just did. All genders. Deselect male. Let's see what foreign gives us. Send. Foreign gives us 23,788. The very first search we did was for all locations, and that number was 43,519. And it says of those, if the foreign is included in the all locations, then 23,788 of those was foreign. If that was included. If not, then that's on top of the 43,519. And remember, 19,732 of those 43, that's a lot of numbers to throw at you. 19,000 was from the USA, but we had 10,681 for male, 2,778 for female, and that does not equal the 19,000. I don't think we did. Let's try. Let's go back to the United States, territories unknown. Deselect foreign. And I don't think I showed you the unknown numbers for the sex. And let's go back down to the bottom. And we chose all ages for that one. And it says 239. That's still not that 19,732. That doesn't equal that. So there's, almost 7 or 8,000 reports that are not displayed, that are missing. Either that's those corrective reports, so that the last paragraph in the disclosure that said if there's any corrections that are made to the report, then corrected report's not going to display. Now that's a lot. 7,000 plus is not showing where that's a lot. And you come to your own conclusion as to why that is. I think I have my conclusion, but I don't want to share it in this video. So I don't want to be accused of anything. But let's carry on here. We're doing unknown gender for the United States for all ages. When I was reading these reports last week when I ran this report, I noticed a lot of these have multiple people listed under one report. And as you click through here and read on your own, you will also notice that. So this one here, right here, says this nurse reported similar events for 8 patients. So it looks like she filed multiple reports, and it looks like these first couple ones are for that. Either she received this information from hearsay or what have you. She just wanted to report it, but some of these will include multiple people under one report. That's probably why the gender is unknown. Or if they received the information secondhand, but they wanted to report it and they didn't get all that information, that's probably what that is too. A doctor died of low platelet and brain bleed 16 days after the product. A spontaneous report from a contactable consumer. Received the product under unspecified route of administration or unspecified date at a single dose. And it says this one was received from a reporter. So 4 nursing home patients died. Now, I hope with this video, people are not going to come to the conclusions based on my commentary of whatever reports I am stopping at, okay? This video is for you to learn how to run the report on your own, to read for yourself. Do not come to conclusions based on of my own commentary. Read for yourself. Please take the time. Okay, this is very serious. Take the time to search for yourself, and you can see this information is available to you. This one says it's suicide. 2 report of death related to the product. Maternal exposure during pregnancy. Fetus stopped growing. No heartbeat detected. Died from the illness after receiving 2 doses of the product. Anaphylaxis. It's another baby. I'm just slowing down so people could pause the video and read. And this one says, my friend just died after taking your product. This is a spontaneous report from a Pfizer-sponsored program. So during the trials, I'm assuming that's what that means. A non-contactable consumer reported a patient. So either the person doesn't want to be contacted to verify, or they didn't get that information. That's what that is saying right there. So remember, this is the unknown. We're running for the United States for all ages. That's what it's showing us here. Let's go down to the bottom and see the most recent report. But please run this report for yourself so you can read these reports yourself. Let's see. I click that last one. Unknown. This spontaneous report received from a consumer via company representative concerned 726 patients. 726. The patients died from unknown cause of death. Unknown whether an autopsy was reported for these patients. This report was considered inaccessible. Oh, above that says, per procedure, no follow-up will be requested for this case for 726 patients. Oh, goodness. You come to your own conclusion on that. 726 under this one report. And then no follow-up. Let's go back to, I think we did all of the basic ones. Let's see how these reports are filed. So you notice I have my second tab is still open for the VAERS data. I'm going to click it back into that. And go back to the main. You can hit either VAERS Home or the VAERS logo. That'll take you back to the front page. If you're unable to do that, if you didn't have that tab open, just go back to Google, go back in. It'll take you back to this front page. This was the first page we used when we reported. So we're going to go to the first box in the middle of this page here. It says report an adverse event. Click on that blue. I don't want it to open up. I don't want it to open up in the same window. Click on the blue. Second paragraph. Well, actually, we could read the first. It's a passive reporting system, meaning it relies on individuals to send in reports of their experiences. Anyone can submit a report to VAERS, including parents and patients. Second paragraph. Healthcare providers are required by law to report to VAERS. Remember that first bullet point under the disclaimer where it said encouraged? No, they are required by law. But look at this first bullet point. It says any adverse event listed that occurs within the specified time period after the product. Now, we don't know what that time period is. I can't remember if they say that on the EUA. That's the emergency use authorization from the FDA authorization sheets that you can go and find on the FDA's site. If it says that in those. Some people who have received the product, two products or what have you, have said there's a wait time after you receive the product that they hold you to view you. And I've heard different times, mainly the most consistent time I've heard is 15 minutes. So it's basically saying that they're required by law to only report it if it happened within, say, that 15 minutes. Afterwards, look at this this next section. It says healthcare providers are strongly encouraged. So they're required to be by law to report it if it occurs in that set time range, right? After that time range, they don't have to report it. They're encouraged to report it, but they don't have to. So see that language, how it worked there? The required by law and encouraged. So remember that as you're hearing all these numbers spew out at you. If you were consuming television reporting and such, do the search for yourself. Remember this. Remember, required by law, if it happens within set time frame. We were just scrolling through those reports, and a lot of them were still reporting them in the VAERS, even if it happened days later or what have you. Read into a lot of those reports, okay? Use your own discernment. But I want to just kind of flag this. This is the argument. The argument is saying they're only encouraged. No, they're required by law that happens within a certain time frame. Only encouraged if it happens afterwards. But as we were scrolling through, we saw a lot of folks, medical professionals, still reporting. And we all thank you for that. But that's where I'm just going to say, the media gets you held up. They want on one side of the argument, like, to dissuade you from forming your own opinion, okay? So just remember that. And that second bullet point, any adverse event listed by the manufacturer as a contraindication to further doses of the product. That means anything that happens badly. The whole existence of VAERS is that's what it's saying, is to flag whoever, the government, manufacturer. If there's so many that's reported, it's supposed to flag them that's saying, hey, this is probably not safe. That's what contraindication means. Indication good, contra bad. So. And then again, it says under the encourage, any adverse event that occurs after the administration of the product licensed in the United States, whether it is or is not clear that the product caused the adverse event. Okay. And then here in bold, right? It says knowingly filing a false VAERS report is a violation of federal law. There's the title, code, and section for you. You can look that up to read the law yourself. If you're interested in that, I can make a video. We can go through that together, because the language can be difficult for some people. It's punishable by fine and imprisonment. So remember that one of those bullet points where it says anybody can file a report. Well, yes, anybody can, but if you're knowingly filing an report just to boister the numbers, and they find out about it, you're punishable by fine and imprisonment. Now that still does not stop people from doing that, but just scrolling through what you saw in this video, and hopefully when you run your own report yourself, a lot of that language, that's clearly medical professionals using that language. And if it's not, then kudos to that person for knowing that. But that's some specific jargon that's used in those reports that you could tell. That's probably not fudge reports. But again, that's your discernment that you have to use yourself. So there are two ways to submit a report. You can do it online through online forms, or you could submit a PDF. I'm going to load for this video, for brevity's sake. We're going to look at the PDF form. So let's click that second box. Let's scroll down to the bottom. It's going to say download the writable PDF form. And yeah, I'm going to download it. Click on it. You're viewing my live screen on my iPad, remember? Okay, my download's ready. Here's the report. And it says in yellow, these are essential. This information is essential. So I want you to include that. Notice how that top box, there's no yellow for the patient's name, last name, address. And this is the other bullet point that people get hung up on. I say because these can't be verified, this data can be skewed. But you got to remember the HIPAA laws, right? You can't disclose a patient's name, information, and other identifying information in the reports. That's how we could see those reports. They didn't have any names or anything on it. And that's the main argument, is because these can't be verified, that these reports are bloated or whatever proponents use for that. But, right, the VAERS is still collecting that information. So remember those folks that were saying contactable consumer, please contact me? Yeah, they have that information, and they can be contacted if whoever needed to contact them. Of course, that's not just some individual person could do that. You would have to go, probably the government would be the only one who could do that. So, whether that verification, causation, correlation argument holds salt, you use your own discernment on that. Come to your conclusion. Okay, so here's the report. Fill all this out, and there's no yellow for the type or anything. Not a requirement or not essential. And here's the directions for reporting. It shows information for healthcare providers, right? Where the product was received. Include all that. And back down to general information, tells you what it is: a national vaccine product safety monitoring system that collects information about adverse events, possible reactions, or problems that occurred during or after the administration of products licensed in the United States. Here we go. Second bullet point: VAERS protects patient identity and keeps patient identifying information confidential. Remember that first section we saw? It's not required for them. Doesn't mean that people who submit the reports are not filling that out. Okay? And then here we go. And that's what I just mentioned earlier. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the HIPAA privacy rule, permits reporting of protected health information to public health authorities, including the CDC and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So they have that information. It says VAERS accept all reports without judging the importance of the adverse event or whether a product caused the adverse event. Acceptance of VAERS report of CDC and FDA does not constitute admission that the product or healthcare personnel caused or contributed to the reported event. And it says the National Product Injury Compensation Program is administered by the Health Resources and Services Administration. Okay, and then there's a separate report. I have not ran this report. That is also collected information data, it says. If you read anything about these products, you know that there is no compensation, there's no liability. There is only one avenue to report it under the EUA for I forgot the name. It starts with a C. But you're not getting much. You're not getting any money from that. A lot of people who have filed that avenue, the only avenue, I think it's like counter something. You're not getting, because it's only a pot of money that the taxpayers pay into, and how many people have reported to this, how many people are getting. You're probably not even getting $100. I'm sorry, that's the truth, because the product manufacturers are protected under the EUA for this certain illness. And you can look that up on the FDA website. You can see that for yourself. Okay? And then again, bottom point, knowingly filing a false VAERS report with the intent to mislead the Department of Health and Human Services is a violation of federal law. Title 18 U.S. Code, and then the section number, you could read that. And it's punishable by fine and imprisonment. So, I don't know about you, but I think I covered those 3 bullet points in the disclosure that I had you look at. Remember, the encouragement, it could be, anybody could report it. It could potentially be false or inaccurate. Okay? Oh, so I just showed you all that. You can address that in your own arguments. Again, with this video, I hope you're not just using the ones that I stopped at during this video to come to your conclusion. Please run this report for yourself. That's why I made this video. I want to help people to learn on their own, to use the information that's available, rather than the reports coming secondhand or through biased avenues. Okay? You gotta think for yourself. Gotta come to your own conclusions. Whether you agree with the correlation causation argument, the encouraged argument, the can't be verified argument, or whatever conclusion you come up, that's your business. I hope this video helps those folks who would like to learn for themselves, to see the information. And then I implore everybody to read those reports. A lot of them are very graphic. A couple of them we saw involves babies. So if you're sensitive on that, just warning, there's quite a bit of them that I read. I didn't stop on the bulk of what I read when I ran this report. I believe I ran it last week. So it could be triggering for some people. So just proceed with caution. If you have any questions, I hope someone can answer them for you. If I'm available, or I don't know how I'm going to post this video. But remember, the power is in the language. And you got to stop for a moment and think for yourself. I wish you luck on your journey. And please, please, please look at the sources for yourself. Do not rely on the powers that be to tell you, to make the decision for you on how you use this system to look at these events, okay? Good luck. I wish everybody well. Love you guys. Take care.